Hi, today we're going to look at how to divide using the base 10 division method. This is going to be the explanation as to why long division works, so it's going to be a little bit more geometric than it is going to be algebraic. Today we're going to look at the expression 376 divided by 14. The first thing I have to remember is what each of those numbers represent. My 14 here is something called a divisor. That's what I'm splitting my number into. The first number I have is called a dividend, and that's what I physically have. So if I want to write those back, this is what I have. This is what I'm sharing or splitting it into. To show what this actually represents, I'm going to take my divisor and I'm actually going to put it into a base 10 system where I have a 14. This 14 is the same thing as saying I have one 10 and I have four ones. This is my 10's place value and this is my 1's place value. To show that accurately, I'm going to put on the left side of my page here where I'm going to have a vertical log here. That's going to represent 10. And squares are going to represent ones. So I have four of them. Altogether, that makes 14. I'm going to separate this through a long division symbol. Just to be consistent for when we do long division, it'll be more concrete. Again, this altogether is worth 14. I now have to think to myself, how many times does 14 go into 376? This method eliminates some of that wonder, and I can start with something as simple as another 10. I know that it's going to go in 10 times because 10 times 14 is less than 376. Here's where the part gets a little bit tricky. Everywhere I have, these are actually going to meet up, and when they meet up, I'm multiplying them. So 10 times 10 is going to give me 100. I'm just going to represent that as a big box. I'm going to do the same thing here, where I have a 10, I have a 1. When they meet up, I have 10, because 10 times 1 is 10. I have 4 of those, so I'm going to put all 4 down below. Each one of those represents 10. I can actually stop there to add these up and subtract that from my current dividend to see what my next number on top should be. So I have 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. I'm going to go ahead and go off to the right here, and I'm going to subtract those two out. My current dividend was 376. I'm going to take away 140 because I've already used it. This is how much I've already used. 6 minus 0 is 6. 7 minus 4 is 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. I'm left with 236. I'm going to go back to my base 10 division, and I say, oh, I could put another 140 in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is going to look exactly the same, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker here in writing them down. I'll switch colors just so you can see that it is a different subtraction. I have 140 again. I'm going to take that out of my current dividend and see what I get. 6 minus 0 is 6. I can't take 3 away from 4, so I borrow from my 2. It becomes a 1, and my 3 became a 13. 13 minus 4 is 9, and 1 minus 1 is 0. I'm left with 96. That's how much I have left in my dividend. I started with 376, but I have 96 left. I have to think to myself again, I can't take out another group of 10 because that's worth 140. So I need to figure out how many times 14 is going to go into 96. You could take a random guess here, or you could do an educated guess. I know that if I do 14 and I multiply that by 5-ish, I should have something around 60. So I'm going to probably put 6 here just to be on the safe side. If I'm over, I'll just eliminate one group. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That represents 6 total pieces. I'm going to expand my little line here, and I'm going to do the same exact math I did before. If these are worth 1 and these are worth 10, 1 times 10 is going to give me a group of 10. 1 times 1 is going to give me a group of 1. So I'm going to end up having 14 in each individual group. These are worth 10, and these are worth 1. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the rest of this pretty quickly, and then we'll add them up to see if I'm close to that 96. Those are all worth 10. And then I have So that will give me a total of what I have. Let's see if I'm as close as I can to get to 376 now. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm going to make myself a side note in case I lose that number in my head. Then I have 6 right here by 4. 6 by 4, this entire section here is a 6 by 4 grid. So I'm going to say that is worth 24. I'm going to put 60 and 24 together to get a total of 84 for this column. 84 is less than 96, so I can do that. I'm going to take this out. 6 minus 4 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. If I think another group goes in, I check my math. If 12 is if 12 is less than 14, I am done. In this case, 12 is less than 14, so I am good. I actually have enough information to get my answer. How I get my answer is I take everything on the quotient up top. 10 plus 10 plus 6 will give me my final answer, and then I have to make sure I don't forget about my leftovers. So 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 6 is 26. I have a remainder of 12. We call that those leftovers. I couldn't quite fit them in evenly, so I had to leave them on the outside. If you're someone that does not like the word remainder when I do division, I can actually write this as a fraction. So my whole number actually is going to stay the same. I still have 26 here. I have 12 left over, and I was originally dividing by 14. I was splitting it into 14. So that's what my denominator actually becomes. If I wanted to show this one more way, I could simplify 12 fourteenths. Half of 12 is 6, and half of 14 is 7.